This is a presentation of DirecTV, exclusive home of the Red Zone channel, the Fantasy Zone, the Dan Patrick Show, 20 years of NFL Sunday Ticket, the Rich Eisen Show, and America's premier source for sports television.
And welcome back to an all-new Celebrity Dentist. I'm your host, Garen Smiley. Our contestant has agreed to our Celebrity Dentist Challenge. For a cash prize of $3,000, he'll allow a member of our Celebrity Dream Team to perform a basic dental cleaning on him without any training whatsoever. Are you ready to meet your celebrity? I mean dentist.
Yes, I'm ready. Let's do it. Freddie Prinze Jr. Freddie Prinze Jr.
Hey, audience, you know what time it is. Let's get cleaning!
Hold that for me, would you, come fan? Oh, nice and steady, would you? Oh, all right, here we go. Now we're both done. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna drill till I see China. Hold still, buddy. Gotta shake it like a leaf. Oh, my.
Oh, God! Ooh, that's all the time we have for today. Find out next week if Harry makes it to the semis, only on Celebrity Dentist. Keep it on this channel because the box score starts right now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you because I probably am.
Howard Coward for box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, joined by the Danettes out in Milford, Connecticut. Guys, I was looking through the LA Times this morning and I saw a small little article about Dan and my Royals advancing to the World Series last night. Paulie, as a producer and part-time civilian, do you prefer the Cinderella story or do you like the big market team to win these games?
I prefer the extreme Cinderella stories. It can't be like a mid-level Cinderella story, like a team that's not good. They have to be really out there. It'd be nice if they had some more players that we knew, but then again, they wouldn't really be a Cinderella if we knew all their players.
Well, my problem with this whole thing is that everyone's telling me to like the Royals. That's what I hate when everyone tells me I have to like one team. That's where my antenna's up. So I'm rooting against the Royals.
Oh, can't root against them.
See? Why can't I? I can do whatever I want.
You want the Giants or the Cardinals to win the World Series?
Well, no one tells me I have to root for the Giants or the Cardinals. Now
no, you shouldn't feel like you're being coerced to root for them.
I am.
Of the teams that are left, you got to pull for Kansas City. It's been 29 years.
Why do I have to pull for anybody? Maybe I hate Kansas City.
You don't have to watch baseball. But if you're going to watch baseball and you're going to follow the World Series, I don't know how you, unless you're a Cardinal or a Giant fan, which I know you're not.
You're saying so anybody who's neutral who roots for the Cardinals or Giants is not a fan of baseball?
Yes. I think you're not a fan of baseball. If you're not a Cardinal or a Giant fan, you should be rooting for the Royals.
It's all weird.
Well, speaking of Cinderella stories, one Danette told his own fairy tale today.
But I never understood what women see sometimes. Look at McLovin.
You never understand that?
Did you understand that? Because your wife is very pretty, very nice, very intelligent.
No, it's...
And I question a lot of that.
No, I do too. I understand why. I think all the Danettes have probably outkicked the coverage.
Yeah, but you would be a wingman. Did you think maybe your wife was talking to you because she wanted to meet somebody else that was with you? Initially.
No, that's not how it went down. I'm telling you, I did well in the bars.
Really?
Yeah.
Late? Late in the evening?
I'm like, yeah, you want to see this poll result? Oh!
Yeah, that's not far-fetched to me. I could see McLovin having game. You know, tall, he's a handsome guy. He should get more credit for his looks that he deserves. We pick on him and tease him with the whole nerd thing, but bright guy, you know, athlete, basketball and all that, the Ivy League. You know, he's a good communicator, good writer. He's got a lot of stuff going for him. So I can picture back in the day him slaying with the ladies. You know, if you're not the typical football player type or, you know, whatever macho guy, whatever, there's room for everybody, and there's all kinds of different types. He has a great sense of humor as well. So, no, it does not shock me. I believe McLovin, if he's talking about how he would go about hitting on the girls at the bars.
Well, up to
I feel
stock
like it was
on
my
Tinder.
grandmother pitching me to somebody.
Seton, who would you say gets the most attention from the ladies when you guys go out and do these meet and greets?
Well, the meet and greet is a different kind of scenario because, one, I mean, Fritzy, every woman there is basically there to hug Fritzy. So, I mean, he gets 95% of any female attention. So that's a little skewed. But I think Andrew actually does pretty well.
By the way, when you say female attention, out of the 5,000 people there, the 4 women there, 3 of which are in Star Trek costumes. It's not like
it's not what you're thinking. Yeah, it's not the Aaron Heathertons and Chrissy Teigens of the world.
I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah, I guess I'm not getting really attention. Mostly guys and families come up to me. I play well with the family. So does Fritzy, I think.
Yeah, I end up chatting to the point where then they don't get a chance to meet any of the other guys because I've occupied all their time, and all they wanted to do is get a quick picture, a quick autograph, or check the box that say they got a creepy hug from Fritzy and wanted to kind of move on and say hi to Paulie and see the McLovin. And next thing you know, it's like, oh, it's 45 minutes later. We're holding up the line, and I'm just talking and interviewing them.
I get a lot of, hey, where's Paulie anyway? And then I'll see back, and Paulie's like hiding in a corner behind a row so he can stop talking to people sometimes.
That's true.
Okay, one guy who probably doesn't have any problem getting attention at the bar is a future NFLer, Jared Hayne, and he came on today and talked about his past in rugby.
How would Richard Sherman do in your league playing rugby, or how would J.J. Watt do?
Yeah, they'd kill it. There's definitely a lot of blokes that are that are very, very, very similar in build and structure. You know, J.J. Watt will probably be what we call a front rower, which is pretty much like a defensive end which he plays. It's probably regarded as the toughest position in our game, where they're the blokes that do all the hard stuff. You know, they're the ones that take the first hit up. They're going to make all the hard tackles through the middle. Do all the. They're in the trenches, you know, and that's our game's all about winning the trenches. You win the trenches, you normally win the game.
Yeah, I was very dubious about this guy's chances of making the NFL. I think I'm an American football snob. I kind of feel like America's better at football than other countries are at rugby. Although I gotta be honest, I don't totally understand the distinction. Like, can this guy really make it? I don't know.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's hard to say because he's one of the best in his league, but what does that mean? He's never played. Yeah. He never played with this type of ball. It's like, could J.J. Watt, who's a tremendous athlete, go over there and be great at rugby? It probably would take a while because he'd have to learn the nuances of any sport, and this guy's not going to have a chance to learn them. He's going to have to go to a training camp and be at the NFL level week 1 of his career. So the odds are against him no matter how good he is in the rugby league.
Yeah, J.J. Watt's been playing since he was 5 years old. It's like why we don't excel at soccer, because we pick it up later. You know, when you're playing something for a long time, it makes a big difference.
Well, Paulie, would you rather have a 15-year Hall of Fame career as a rugby player or an average 7-year NFL career?
Hall of Fame. I'd rather be great at my sport in rugby. Rugby's a worldwide sport. It's not that big here. It's kind of big in college, but I'd rather be one of the best in my sport than average. And yeah, like we've talked about that before, I'd rather be great at a niche sport than average at a kind of traditional sport. You know, Kelly Slater's not a household name to non-surfing fans. He kind of is, but you know, he's by far the best surfer of all time. That's a lot cooler than being Jim Everett, the former Rams quarterback who had a nice little pro career. Well, I mean, they're both cool sports, but I'd rather be the best over at anything.
He had a career. He beat up Jim Rome. That was cool. Okay, one Danette who can relate to football and rugby players related a story about a concussion as a youth.
I think I had a mild one when a ball hit me in the stands at a Little League game.
Oh, my God.
In the stands? I was standing.
Why was it mild?
I was sitting in left field where the stands were, and where I was sitting was above the fence, and Glenn Singer hit a home run, and the sun was in my eyes. I didn't see it coming, and the ball just landed right.
Oh, my God, left field? You didn't see it coming?
Fly ball. The sun was in my eyes, and where I'm sitting is above the top of the fence. And you could hear like a loud sound. And I went to Coney Island Hospital. They took all
you went
kinds
to the
of
hospital?
X-rays. Oh, yeah. Rushed me right to Coney Island Hospital. They took all kinds of tests and battery of X-rays and everything to make sure I didn't have some kind of bleeding on the brain.
I don't mean to laugh.
I was okay, but that's pretty scary.
Actually, I do mean to laugh. It's funny.
Kind of a crazy story from Todd, but truth be told, I was distracted by it because he loves doing that sound effect, the tongue.
I knew he was going to do it right there.
That one right there. He told that story. He did it 3 or 4 times just in telling that one story. It was one hit, and somehow he did that sound effect like 3 or 4 times. Something about his tongue and roof of his mouth.
A little weird.
Fritz, are you used to the boss making fun of your injuries by now?
Sure. It's all in good fun. Thankfully, if he knew that I was like seriously injured or I was like bleeding or something horrible happened from that story, I'm sure we would move on a little faster. I think we would anyway. I don't know if Paulie would, but I think Dan would a little bit faster. But it wasn't a big deal. It was more embarrassing than anything else that I would get hit in the head with a home run in the stands, and everyone and my friends and family and other people, teammates.
Were you carried out of the building?
I wasn't carried out, but I was whisked into my dad's Ford Fury 3 green car, and we went over to Coney Island Hospital, and my mom was screaming and panicking.
When I first heard this, I thought that you said that you were like on the first baseline and got hit by a sharp foul ball. What kind of idiot does not see a home run coming their way?
I learned my lesson after that, not to sit above the fence, especially daytime when the sun's in your eyes and you're squinting to just see what's going on.
So you were looking at the batter, like you were watching the play.
The batter was in the distance. The stands were in left field, so the batter's all the way in. There's a home run over the left field fence where I'm sitting in the stands. I'm sitting at the top rung of these wooden seats, which happen to be above the top of the fence, and it just went over the fence and bang, right in the head.
I wish we could reenact this someday.
We got to get Glenn Singer. What's he doing these days?
That I don't know. He was a little questionable character. Hopefully, he's not
good rake though. He could rake
behind bars or anything. But he did hit a nice home run right off my head.
He's selling cars in Toms River. Congratulations to him. And I think that what was missed here is that you were saved by your curly raven locks. So good for that. Coming up, it is no laughing matter. It is Breakfastgate 2014.
The worst way.
Welcome back to Box Score, a very serious subject, breakfast, and nothing goes great with breakfast like shellback rum. You guys were complaining, but now you have breakfast because of claims that Rich's sidekicks, Powder, Ray Donovan, and Creepy Ted were getting a luxurious buffet, and then Richie Rich called in today and disagreed completely.
By the way, I am hearing the shots.
What?
I am hearing the shots from the Danettes complaining about wardrobe, allowances, breakfast, free breakfast.
Yes, they did complain because you and your show get makeup.
That's true.
You guys get catered food.
No, that is a vicious rumor. We're not getting catering.
I don't know. I saw bagel platter. There was a food plate there, so I don't know.
I need to look into this.
Rich is going to fit in well here. Truth telling is not a big thing to him, I guess. We have a mall over there at the Los Angeles studios, and sent me a picture of the breakfast spread. It was modest. It was respectable. It's what you should have for any TV crew in the business.
Well, I don't know if your picture matches this. We did a little digging, got a hold of a DirecTV exec, and what he told us was that the Eisen spread looks much like this, maybe only nicer. Well, and as always, we will keep our ears to the ground as this story develops. Delicious pastries right there.
Brock, what are you hearing out there? Rumblings? Are people salty about this situation? What's going on? You know the upper management people.
There are rumblings all over the place, and I visited the studio the other day, and it looked like a stale cupcake and a bag of Snickers, but I can't.
How did you get past all the security guards?
Well, I know a little man with the initials KK, gave him a wink, slipped him a 20, and got in there just for a second.
That's
but
a guy
only,
who could get you places.
Yeah, only in the back where all the wiring was, because I had my tool belt on. Okay, well, a guy that knows delicious food and catering, actor Frank Whaley, joined the show today and talked about all the legendary actors he's worked with.
I am really lucky. I worked with Marlon Brando. I got to work with Marlon Brando, and my favorite.
Oh, the freshman, yeah.
And the freshman, yeah, and that's probably my favorite moment. The still photographer on the set was a friend of mine, and Brando forbid any photos being taken, any personal photos. And but I just wanted, like everybody else, I just wanted one photo of me with Marlon Brando, and I stood next to Brando, and he was talking to the director, and I just motioned to the guy to take a picture, and he took the picture. And it turns out that Brando did catch it, or Brando's assistant did catch it, and he got fired. The guy was fired, and he became a drunk and jumped in front of a train somewhere in the 90s. And I'm responsible for the whole thing.
Wait.
The story's somewhat embellished, but
Okay, so did he get
fired? He was fired. I'm not sure about the other stuff, but
Come on,
Frank. He might have been a drunk to begin with.
Holy moly, man. What a story. Dude, Frank Whaley is a character. He had sneaky sense of humor, great storyteller. And that interview really paid off. I mean, I think we were all wondering how this was going to work out. And actually, there was a lot of back and forth about whether or not we should have Frank on.
Yeah, yesterday when we talked about Pulp Fiction, I was like, who can we get from Pulp Fiction? I was like, we're not going to get Travolta. We're not going to get Sam Jackson day of.
Right.
Like, what about Frank Whaley? A pretty well-known actor in my mind, not maybe to everybody. And so I asked Fritzy to call him. Then when we got him kind of like semi-booked, then he goes, nah. I go, whoa. I was like, I thought this was kind of a sure thing. I think everyone thought it was a sure thing. All four of us wanted it. So a little behind the scenes, we had to push probably for a couple hours with Dan last night to convince him. I said something, then Seaton jumped in, McLovin jumped in, and we all said, like, we're in for this guy. And Dan goes, okay. And thank God it ended up being a home run, which I really thought that was a home run interview. And Frank's got like an open invite now. Because that helps. Well, that helps Brock. Because the next time we pitch like an actor who's not a household name, we can go, Frank Whaley. Frank Whaley. That's going to be our move.
Yeah. Fritzy, did I hear correctly towards the end of the interview that he said he would love to come by?
Yeah, he's. I think he lives somewhere in Connecticut, and we're going to hopefully have him in the coming months here in the Milford Studios. And next time he's in New York, he's obviously welcome to join us in the New York City Man Cave, where we're headed later today. But he did well, and once you impress Dan the first time around when he takes a chance on you, then you have a very good chance at a second appearance. So it'd be great to have him on site with us.
Somehow Dan's going to spin this into discovering Frank Whaley, which will be really interesting.
Yes, it will be Dan's idea to have Frank Whaley on the show in the near future.
Then he's going to credit himself for getting Frank.
Remember when I got you in Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, in Pulp Fiction.
Yes.
Remember when they said, no, you're too tall to play Lee Harvey Oswald? I said, Oliver, this will work.
Yes.
McLovin, who has had nicer catering in their career, Frank Whaley or the Rich Eisen crew?
Oh, not even close.
Well, Frank Whaley's had a lot of independent movies, so I'm going to have to go with the Rich Eisen crew.
Sure.
In all reality, it was a magnificent seafood tower over there. Very expensive. Worth a lot. Stick around. We will see what the Danettes are worth. Welcome back to the Box Score. We know you guys all dig memorabilia, but what if the memorabilia had to do with your row partner? We did some digging through some online auctions and found some Danette-related items. So let's play another edition of
Worth or Worthless.
We will show you an item that sold on online auction. You need to tell us what it sold for within $20. Our first item is for McLovin. Is this worth or worthless? This paperback book is named Forgotten and was penned by the author Fritzy. Forgotten is the tale of a mysterious girl and a prince who try to uncover the secret of their murderous dreams. Wow, Fritzy, that sounds pretty dark. Way to go. McLovin, your guess.
Was this made into a Cinemax movie? Because then it could have been.
I can't believe this actually exists. Wow, Fritzy, I didn't know you did that on the side.
Yeah, I got some hobbies.
I think this is worth well over $20 because only one exists in the entire world.
Well, you got the brass ring. The worth of this is $26.79. Very close. To the front row.
26 and change.
And Pauly. This 1982 self-titled LP released by Patrick O'Connor. This vinyl includes O'Connor favorites like Falling Again, Clancy's Bar, and I Guess I Love You. Pauly, tell us if it's worth or worthless.
Look at that stallion.
Wow. Oh, man. I'm going to go $5.99.
Holy moly, it's $6. $6.
Wow. Now, hey, Brock, we had a rule on the show that if one of us got to the exact number, DirecTV would buy said item. I know I'm only a cent off, but if the other Danettes would vote.
I was going to go on eBay after this and try to buy it anyway.
I think I deserve it for coming within a penny.
Yeah,
I Guess I Love You by Patrick O'Connor.
Just throw it on the Eisen Show budget. They'll take it.
Yeah, just mix it in with that budget.
Yeah.
You got to buy that.
They are rolling through the cash right now. Fritzy, your turn. Fritzy, it's the 3rd edition Microeconomics with Calculus textbook by a guy with the same name as McLovin, which is good enough. Last name is, which is good enough for us. Todd, what's Perloff's book worth?
Good research.
But it's not Andrew Perloff, it's Jeffrey Perloff.
That's his nom de plume.
Watches every day.
Is that really your cousin?
That's my cousin Jeff.
No,
and
it's
sends
not.
me a joke. We have this whole long email chain. He sends the dirtiest jokes. That's my cousin Jeff. He's a famous lady.
You have mentioned him before. You mentioned your cousin Jeff.
He gives me sometimes he'll give me some tidbits for background on the show. I can tell you.
It's so not
Fritzy
true.
could have met his cousin Jeff.
Wait, no. Why would that not be true?
Is that true what you're saying?
How many Perloffs do you think are running out there? They
I
don't
think there's
call him
plenty. That's not
McLovin. They
that
call
uncommon
him
last
Pearl,
name.
by the way.
I'm going to say that book costs $17.67.
And not only that, I had that book in college. I had my own cousin's microeconomics book.
That got the ladies.
Well, the economics are off on this. It was 48.29. I think that's just off, correct?
Whoa.
That is funny.
Yeah, I said 17.
Our final item is for Seaton. This 33-page piano music book is for the opera Les Dames de Pique by Tchaikovsky, revised and edited by Paul Pabst. And we cannot confirm if this is the same Paul Pabst who sits next to you, but in any event, Seaton, your guess.
Yeah, famous German composer, died before he was 40 years old, Paul Pabst.
Interesting. I'm gonna say that is worth $354.
Wow.
Wow, you just overshot it. It is $18.99. And the winner in the biggest walk-off of all walk-offs, Paul Pabst, just off by a penny today.
Thank you.
Staff effort in getting you that Seaton O'Connor. Okay, still to come, we give the gift of time travel to the Danettes. Welcome back to the Box Score. We're here at Clancy's Bar, sung by Patrick O'Connor. Great song. With all the baseball playoffs, we are super bummed we can't go out and see any of these games. But what I got to thinking last night, read the Perloff microeconomics book, and was able to fashion a flux capacitor and attach it to my 1996 teal Mazda Miata. Now time travel is possible. I present this as a gift to you, gentlemen. McLovin, if you could go back in time to any sporting event, which one would you go to?
One that I've been to, Brock, or a completely random event?
Your choice. Anything.
Okay. Well, I would go back. Okay, I'm going to go to the 1980 World Series.
Nice.
Specifically, when Pete Rose was catching the pop-up in the 9th inning and it fell out of his glove, and Bob Boone was right there to catch it. Phillies win the World Series.
Nice.
Seaton?
I would go back in time to, what year was it? It was probably somewhere around 1988, 89, an all-star game I was in that I struck out to lose the game. I know this probably isn't where you're looking to go, but if I could change one moment in history, it would be me striking out with bases loaded to end the most epic of all rallies. I bet from there, I would be right now the governor of a state or something if that moment hadn't happened. That's what I would want.
I thought you were going to go with Ramil Robinson. I'm a little surprised.
Well, yeah, but I'm more
painful.
selfish. Actually, the first thing that popped into my head was going back to Jeter's last Yankee Stadium game and not go outside. Truth be told, that's really what I was thinking. Like, oh man, I just shouldn't have had that cigarette. Dang.
How about you, Fritzy?
Before they won the back-to-back Super Bowls, it would have been the drive in Cleveland, although I would have gotten pummeled in my orange and blue clothes by the crazy dog pound. But the Broncos' first Super Bowl with Elway beating the Packers, Elway against Favre at Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego, I wish I had a ticket to that.
Polly?
This is hands down for me, the one I've always thought I'd like to go to. 1936 Olympics in Berlin, Germany, with Adolf Hitler watching Jesse Owens kick their ass.
Excellent. I think I would go back to the 1990 Rock and Jock game when Tone Loc threw out Keanu Reeves at first base. But then I got to thinking that I would go back to a swim meet that I was involved with when I was 9 years old, and my mom signed me up for the 200 IM. And I got out after swimming butterfly for 50 yards and was wept all the way back to our little tent where we stayed, and I would go and scratch my name off that card and save myself all that humiliation and my total little kid. Okay.
You're over it, though. You're over it.
I'm over that. Hi, Mom.
Similar backgrounds.
Hi, Mom. Love you. Thanks for ruining my childhood. Okay, Fritzy, who's on tomorrow?
Hall of Fame coach Bill Parcells is going to join us tomorrow. And in studio, Michael Rappaport, the actor and longtime Knicks fan, is going to join us on set. And Peter King of the MMQB.com, Sports Illustrated, NBC Football Night in America. He will join us on set with Dan as well in the New York City Man Cave.
Oh, well, safe travels, gentlemen. Thanks for watching The Box Score. Set your DVR or tune in weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, only on Audience Channel 239 right here on DirecTV. Also catch our podcast available on iTunes or at podcast1.com. Here's the Manhattan Marlins.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching The Box Score. Holy cow!
This was a presentation of DirecTV, exclusive home of the Red Zone channel, the Fantasy Zone, the Dan Patrick Show, 20 years of NFL Sunday Ticket, the Rich Eisen Show, and America's premier source for sports television.